Hi guys, I'm Woodcraft Hamster and I thought we'd do a little bit more work today on carving our little guy. This is where we got to last time, so we've kind of started off on the head, we've separated the head from the body, so to speak, and today we're going to make a start on one of the two stop cuts that I put in. Now we're going to start today with the one on the back, and by carving that away from the bottom up, it's going to create sort of the back edge of our figure, and what I'll do, I'll move the camera just a little bit closer in and I'll show you what we're going to do. Right then guys, so this is where some of these smaller blades come into play. You don't have to use a smaller blade, I just find them quite useful. So if you've got a small penknife like this with a couple of sort of, a smaller one and a larger one, they work really well. And what we're going to be doing today is carving from the bottom up here up towards this stop cut that we've created. There's a couple of ways you can do that. One is to take the figure like this and work downwards. Occasionally I'll do it this way. Alternatively, you can hold it this way and carve up towards the stop cut. Now really that's the reason the stop cut is there. Now because this is pine and it is quite a splitty wood, it can be done, you just need to be a little bit careful. So obviously we've made this a lot smaller, so we are gradually losing material to hold on to. So I would normally hold it like this, and starting from the bottom, very, very gently just come up to your stop cut. Now you need to make sure that you're not trying to force the knife through, because if you do and it gets stuck and all of a sudden jumps forward, not only are you at risk of potentially cutting your finger, but also if you hit this stop cut, because pine's quite a soft wood, you could just end up taking off a whole section of this that you don't want to as well. So as I say, you either start down here and you sort of carve downwards to begin with, and then you can kind of come round and come back like this. Alternatively, you can just start from the bottom, and it is slightly easier to do it this way. You're essentially using the knife to sort of split off small pieces of wood like this. So I'm just going to carry on for a little while. This is literally all I'm going to be doing. There's no magic in this. It's a fairly simple process. What I think I'll do is, as I've done previously, I'll skip through some of this footage because it's quite repetitive. And what I should say before I carry on is just to say that normally I'll start off at either corner, just because the corners are a nice easy place to sort of get a bit of purchase to start cutting upwards. And as you're creating more corners by cutting those corners away, you can then got another corner here and another corner here and then two over here as well, and literally you just pick a corner very gently and there you go. So as I say, I'll carry on and fast forward through a bit of this footage and I'll come back when we've made a bit of progress. So there we go guys, you can kind of see what we're going for here. Almost looks like the guy's wearing a backpack at the moment. And now that we've finished all of this splitting, all you really want to do is just use your knife, rather than splitting it off as I have been. You just use your knife and just take some very, very shallow, almost scraping cuts, just to smooth it down. Doesn't take long at all. It will just take away those sort of split lines like so. I'll just tidy that up a little bit for you, and hopefully you can see there. Again, can be tidied up a bit later, and we may well sand this at some point as well if I feel the need for it. And you want to leave it slightly rounded like this as well. That will make more sense later on. So that's basically it. That's where we are for today. So here's our little guy starting to take even more shape. And again, from this point onwards, really, every step that we're going to be making from now on will really start making it a lot more obvious what this is going to turn out to be. So there you go, guys. Hope it was useful. Really encourage anybody to sort of carve along with me on this. And the nice thing about this kind of carving, because you've got a lot of sharp angles and it's quite fiddly and intricate, sort of doing these little cuts. One thing I find, holding it like this, obviously you've got a fairly sharp edge here sitting against your thumb, and because there's no time limit on making these, you can stop, take a rest, give it half an hour, give it a day, give it a week, doesn't really matter. You can come back to it as and when you've got time. So that's what I really like about this kind of carving anyway. So that's it for today. Comments and questions in the box below. Hit like and subscribe if you'd like to see more, and I hope you'll all join me next time. Thanks, guys.